Right.
But he had never been approached that he was doing the knife fight, and apparently it was a real knife.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Like
it's like a garage movie or guerrilla style shot movie or something like that.
With $30 million.
Right, $30 million on the line.
And it's a sad thing because if I was Van Damme, I would have taken $3 million up front.
Yeah.
I would have done the Nicholson deal. And who knows if that was even possible. Just be like, I'll take $3 million, and then
it's all about the back end.
Yes, it would be for this.
Yeah,
movie.
Right. Internationally too, especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I'm Van Damme, I know this title alone, and I know they're doing toys. I know they're going to put me in a fucking boat because they want to make a boat toy.
Yeah.
And Hasbro had the toy license.
Yeah.
And in one scene, originally they had him in a tank.
Yeah.
And the tank was made to look exactly like a G.I. Joe toy.
Yeah.
Which they apparently had a lot of shit left over. They were just trying to unload. But Van Damme got his money up front, so good for him. He was a bit of a problem on this set, Marcus.
He was.
He had the booger sugar.
He did, man. That yayo.
He had what was reported by him. I think he's copped to it at this point.
He's done very well at admitting, like, I was a shithead.
Yeah. He said $10,000 a week.
Yeah.
Coke habit.
That's crazy. Imagine spending that much on cards every week.
Yeah.
Getting to spend that much on something.
My collection would be insane.
Oh, man.
He has an affair. He's not divorced yet. He's going through his third marriage. And it's on the outs.
So why not have an affair?
Why not sleep with one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world?
Right.
And Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, Kylie Minogue. Is it Minogue? Is it Minogue or Minogue?
Minogue.
Okay, you're probably more right than I am.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
La la la.
Yeah.
La la la. She was a soap opera star in Australia.
Yeah.
And when they were shooting in Australia, the Australia Screen Actors Guild union was like, "Hey,
we need somebody in here.
You got to have some Australian people who are shooting here." And they do. They get like 2. Carlos Blanca is Australian, and so is Cammy.
Robert Mamone.
Yeah. He apparently was buddy-buddy with Van Damme.
Yeah, read that.
Yeah.
I guess that's where all the we know that all the budget didn't go to Blanca. Just some green spray paint and some orange hair,
and like a makeup kit you would buy, like a molding kit.
It looks like a dad who would dress up for his kids as Blanca for Halloween.
It really does. It was really a shame. Like even as a kid, I remember that. And we get Van Damme, who was apparently a terror on the set. Like not to other people. I don't ever get the sense from the stories that I was reading that he was ever like directly mean to other people.
Right.
But he wasted everyone's fucking time.
Yeah. He's never been like, or I've never read stories to where he's been the asshole to people on set. Right. Like, I'm better than you or anything, but it's just that in these days, like, he was I'm Van Damme and I can be on my own time, whatever I want to do, and kind of thing. I'm the biggest budget in the movie.
So they started having issues with him being there on time. They just started assuming he wasn't going to show up on Mondays. He would stay in his hotel room because he had this huge presidential suite and they had a gym built in there, and he just wouldn't show up some days. And he's like, I got to pump my muscles up. Which in a movie that's already plagued by production problems,
right?
You have 300 people ready to do this thing that revolves around you, and you're like, nah.
Plus a guy with stomach cancer and who's dying.
Yeah.
And
who's there?
Yeah.
Who's showing up?
Right. Who's showing up every day?
And you're like, I gotta pump up. Yeah. Can't fucking do it. I got my $8 million I gotta spend.
I'm gonna be at the Ramada. My room, guys.
I hope they put him in the Ramada. Maybe the Thai Ramada is really nice.
Maybe the Thai Ramada.
So he is a sort of a terror on set. He dates Kylie. I don't know how long their relationship really lasts. But Kylie does befriend, I don't want to mispronounce her name, Ming?
Yeah.
Ming
Na Wen?
Ming Wen.
Ming Wen?
Ming Na Wen?
Yeah.
Agents of
Please
S.H.I.E.L.D.
know that we're not making fun of anybody, too. We just sometimes are dumbasses who can't pronounce things.
And she's an actor I love.
Yeah.
I just recently finished going through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she's great. She's one of my favorite parts of it. She was also fucking Mulan. I mean, she's big time. She's had one of the more... And she's in a Star Wars universe. She's in Marvel and Star Wars universes.
But just in the Star Wars, just in Mandalorian, right? Is that...
Yeah, but now she's in another... They're doing another series of Star Wars, and it's called The Bad... I wish I did. I'm not a big Star Wars person. The Bad Batch.
Oh, okay.
Finnick Shand. She's also Gremlins: Secret of the Mogwai.
Oh.
She's a recurring character in that. She's in the Book of Boba Fett.
Dang. Okay.
Like, she's in some of the
so
biggest...
she's got some Disney movies under her belt then. Disney.
Marvel. She was on ER as a recurring character.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy TV series, which I guess was an animated series, and she was a Phyla Vel in that. So her and Kylie sort of bonded on set and became good friends while Kylie was seeing Van Damme. I'm sure she was like, "Hey, what are you doing?
What the fuck is going on?"
Like, he's hot, but like,
yeah.
that dude's a mess.
That's all. You're young Kylie Minogue. I think you're
25, one of the most beautiful people in the world. This guy's making $8 million bucks, and let's not downplay it because he's past action star at this point. He's a bankable draw now. Time Cop did that for him. He's not like, oh, Van Damme straight to video or Kickboxer does Modest. No, he's $100 million man at this point. And this movie does $100 million.
And does $100 million, 99. But I mean, it's right there, and it's all after, nearly all after theatrical release too, with video sales and everything too.
I mean, then
but you have action figures like you said, and everything that comes forth with that movie.
Oof.
That it just banked on after $35 million. I mean, you're 2 times doubling your money up. I mean, a little over doubling your money up. It's crazy.
I think this movie's going to kill with worldwide. You got Capcom. If Capcom really... This video game was huge in the States.
Right.
It was enormous in Japan. So, like, you released this in Japan with these guys? Like, come on.
I mean, it's kind of like, why didn't we see... With what we have now and how Resident Evil came out with Capcom too, like, why couldn't we have got something... a little bit like I don't mind the first Resident Evil. It's fun. But again, like, you want to see Resident Evil stuff. You want to see that. And it's just kind of, it makes it this whole thing to where it's different. Yeah. But I think that, like, as far as Capcom goes and the money that they have, like, why are you rushing stuff to put something out?
They wanted to... my thought, or my sort of, what I gathered was they had contracts with toy makers that were going to produce.
Right. True. Yeah.
So they're like, well, nope.
Yeah.
And D'Souza was like, hey, we're not ready.
Right.
Can we get an extension? No.
Yeah.
But my thought, and I feel like maybe this happens with all video game people. They produce these movies, and we're a bit off subject here, but let's take Doom, for example, with The Rock.
Right.
In that movie, they do a first-person...
Yeah, which is fun.
I really like that part, but that movie sucked.
Right.
And I'm wondering, there has to be a balance where if I have a video game, let's say I made... I don't know, the Yakuza franchise.
Yeah.
Which is pretty well-known video game series. They have the 6 now.
Yeah.
And it has a loyal fan base. If I own that franchise and I go, okay, let's make it into a movie, I'm going to say, I'll approve the script, and then I'm done.
Right.
I would like whoever's directing to be a fan, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like, because we have to pay service to the fans, and that's... Doom tried to do it. Yeah. And I feel like Street Fighter was like... The way they did it was like tossing pennies from a balcony.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat was better at it. And we'll talk... We have our own episode.
Yeah, we'll have 2 episodes.
On Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. We're just doing 1 episode.
But we're going to cover both films.
Yeah.
But I thought Mortal Kombat was probably a much better film than this. Because this... We'll keep going.
I mean, you think about... And just to touch on it one more time,
please.
But you think about like Mortal Kombat, and of course, when that movie comes out, all you want to see is finishing moves.
Yep.
That's all you want to see. You want to see something like that. And you get it a little, not much, which I can't even express the excitement I have for the actors and everything and the new one coming up, because this is going to be so much fun.
It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, but it's just like Street Fighter. Yeah, it's that same thing to where I want to see an Hadouken. I want to see something. I want to see...
We get a little Hadouken,
yeah,
but it's just like a flash of light.
Right. I want to see a Sonic Boom at the end. I mean, perfect place for a Sonic Boom. And
I don't see why... If we're in a world where M. Bison becomes electrified,
right?
Why can't Guile just like
touch that electricity and something happen with it? Something. That's what I thought when that happened. Why can't this happen?
And obviously they were planning for a sequel because Dalzim does get that Four Loko stuff spilled on his arms. And so you see him becoming this thing.
Right.
So I imagine that's going to allow his arms to stretch and things like that. So like, and they had spoken to that in a few of the interviews I found where they were like, yeah, the sequel was going to be a bit more magical and people were going to start like... Because Ken and Ryu reference their master.
Right.
Maybe they're going to go back, train, become like, okay, now we're real.
Right.
Also, fun Ken, played by Bullets Bourbon Karate alum from Under Siege. Actually a real Navy guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was cool.
Damian Chapa?
Damian Chapa, who was also in a movie that I never put it together, Blood In, Blood Out.
I was waiting. Oh, man, I love Blood In, Blood Out.
My friend, his name was Ollie Velasquez. He's one of my good friends growing up. Hispanic kid. He loved that movie. He would describe that movie. That movie was so talked up to me when I finally saw it.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had trouble with gang stuff.
Sure.
Not like I got into gangs. No gang wanted me.
I had trouble with gangs. So many gangs wanted me, I couldn't.
Watching it on screen was tough.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. Menace to Society. Yeah. That sort of stuff. Like, horror movies I didn't like either, but I went to see Hellraiser by myself, right? So I could... Like, I didn't like it, but I could handle it. Like,
right.
But when I would see, like, Menace to Society or, like, I would just... It was a different feeling. And so Blood In, Blood Out, dealing with that sort of environment, like... I remember finally watching because my friend Ollie had talked it up so much.
Yeah.
Blood In, Blood Out. Sorry, that's just... I remember that very well. He would say that to me. And I just was like, oh, it's so sad.
Did you... But you have seen it now, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Rice scene and the present. I love... Anything... I think this is why I love those movies. Anything like horror movies too, or anything like that. And I think I've told you, but a movie where I know I will never live that life because I've never done anything to really break the law. I know I won't be in that kind of prison ever, unless something crazy could happen.
You almost were.
Almost were, yeah, almost. But I had the proof to back it up with the Russian mob.
That's true.
But then, like, any horror story, like, where I know that can't happen, it's just, like, it makes you feel comfortable knowing that's never going to happen to me. But, yeah, Blood In, Blood Out is, Miklo, I think Miklo is his name in Blood In, Blood Out. Yeah, Vatos Locos, wherever, and he's the white guy in it, but he has the Mexican blood.
Yeah, he's white representing which he is.
Right.
I imagine he's dealt with this a lot, but he's
great in Blood In, Blood Out.
He's great. I don't think he's a bad Ken.
No.
I think Ken and Ryu are poorly written.
They don't get enough good lines. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of people who don't get enough good lines in this movie. Yeah.
And apparently that was a big sort of bone to pick with the Street Fighter fans because, like, they're always the main character in Street Fighter. Street Fighter's sort of based around them. All the animes, all of the video game stuff, and, like... But like you said, within this storyline, I don't mind that they're gun runners. And maybe the sequel, God knows, maybe they would have done what the Marvel Avengers did, and then you would have had the Ken and Ryu movie, the Guile and Cammy movie, or whatever it's going to end up being. Yeah. I would love to see a movie where Chun-Li, E-Honda, and Balrog are like off on another journalistic adventure.
Yeah, I'd love that.
And like they have to go through all this shit and fight. Who knows who?
Right.
But so this movie has Simon Cowell.
Yeah, Simon Cowell, yeah.
Which is a fun little guest spot.
Yeah. We got a lot of guys who are in this who are like, are they really like that guy? Kind of that guy movies.
And let's talk about something you and I always like to talk about. Yeah. Andrew Bernowski.
Yes.
He was...
Latimer
is, of course, how Marcus and I probably most fondly remember him. Yeah. I love the program, so does Marcus, and he played the steroid problem guy, which... It's funny because there's a story that another thing that was really problematic with the shooting is like I think D'Souza says and then I'm not going to name the actor, but an actor got busted trying to carry steroids into Australia.
Look at the cast and guess who that was.
Yeah, come on. I mean, honestly, it could have been Van Damme, but I don't think it was because we probably would have heard more about that. Right. Like. I think he would have copped up to it. Like, I was taking so much steroids back then too and stuff. But Andrew, pretty sure it was Andrew. Yeah. Because he'd been in trouble with this shit before. Oh yeah, he got in trouble recently for it. Right. Yeah. And then he passed away. Yeah. And very sad. With a house full of cats. Full of cats. Yeah. He was so good. Yeah. I loved him in the program. Graham Bush. Yes. Graham Bush is
Yeah,
huge.
who I just realized after you told me
Blew
earlier.
my mind.
Yeah.
This may be, I always love the connections. I love seeing, like, oh, they were in this movie. Like, Blood and